Whether you feel confident or lost, watching this video will be a healthy reminder of knowing how to approach improving. It is so easy to get caught up with all the external trivial obstacles that lead to the ambivalence and aggression that we are unconsciously controlled by, further leading us away from the true goal, which is self-improvement. My name is A10 and I'm a graduate psychologist as well as a top-ranked player in Overwatch. In this video, we'll be looking at how to improve and discussing the most important part of improving, your mental. Do note that I have created videos that contain all the necessary building blocks related to what I'm talking about today to get you started on your journey of becoming the best Overwatch player that you can be. Let's start with what you're here for. Improving. Getting better. What is important to note is that just because something is simple or easy and you know what the concept is about, it does not mean that you understand it. To understand something is to take a concept that is simple and to be able to utilize it and manipulate it for all situations. And that is where you will find the complexity that you think should be there. Therefore, I can only give you something basic and explain it clearly. And by the end of this video, you'll have the comfort of knowing how to apply it to your individual situation. My favorite way of explaining learning is through the concept of an experience tree. The more experience we have, the deeper our knowledge goes, and the more information we can extract from something. Experience trees are plentiful in nature and can be anything, from an ability to knowing how to play hero matchups. This is because everyone naturally develops these experience trees whether they know they are or not. You watching this are most likely not new. Therefore, when I present this map, you'll be able to draw from your experience. And some of you will be experiencing ambivalence. You have conflicted feelings from previous learned experiences on the map. Now let me explain in a way that will truly simplify how we experience learning. As you knowing what that means allows you to transition it into action and understanding. Pretend that you are new to the game. It is your first match. You walk out of somewhere and see a new character. All of a sudden, the character pulls you in. You die. We learn what the character is called, Rodog. Now we have a title for that experience tree. Once we have done that, we can try to understand the experience itself. The character used his hook to pull us in, and as a result, we died. And since we know that dying is a bad experience, we want to avoid this outcome. So let's say, for the sake of the explanation, that we are playing Zarya. We learn what our bubble does, and then we learn that we can block the Rodog hook. So the next time we see the Rodog, we know he's going to throw out the hook, we're going to bubble, and this time we've blocked it, and we've managed to solve a problem. But then new problems are presented. When you face a better Rodog player, and he appears, and he doesn't throw out his hook, then we will have wasted our bubble, and he can punish us afterwards. As we face better and better players, the solutions that we have crafted may no longer work. Stick with me here, because it's not the example that is important, but the fundamental process of improving our skills as a player. I'm sure all of you watching are at different levels of this, but one thing that I know for sure is that no matter how simple we think something is, that basic simplicity is the building block that never ends. And the better we get, the more factors we would have to consider to know what the right decision is. Studies have shown that talent is overrated. They looked at top professional sports players and dug into their minds to find that it's not their talent that made them rise to the top, it's how they spent their time. Just like anyone else, they were average people, except for the fact that they managed to figure out improving. Let me explain what they did. They took a small thing, very specific that they wanted to improve on, and hyper-focused until it became a part of their baseline level. Meaning that the more specific and minute we become, the easier it will be to introduce a new element. Let's say that you are at this skill level. You might have some fluctuation in your skill level, but in general, it kind of remains the same. And if you were to introduce something that is too complicated, you would see a sharp drop off in your skill because you would have to process it. And by the time that you get through it all, it's too late. You got punished. And this leads to a far greater negative experience, causing you to not want to do it again. However, let's say that we introduce a simple, small thing, easy to focus on and play around. We will have small mistakes that feel very digestible to us. Therefore, our baseline skill goes up and up and up. And when you're introduced to something more complicated, this time we can rely on our previously acquired skills to digest it more easily and apply it to our game. You should know yourself how much you can handle. Through trial and error, I just really want to reiterate how people can be so wrong about my previous videos. The comments explaining that this is for low elo or that it's not helpful to them, and they honestly can't be further from the truth. Because when I play on my top 10 account and have teammates fundamentally mess up things that I'm talking about in these videos, things I would consider very, very basic. With all the coaching I've done and seen, trust me when I say, even top 500 isn't as good as you think it is. And don't take this as a negative, take it as a positive, because I've given you the resources to go out there and build your core foundation with the right building blocks. And if it's too hard, well, you know, I can coach you and skip the hard process for you. If you want to be coached by me, I'm confident I will make you better. Link is down below to my Discord, which has all of the information there. There are limited slots and they're filling up really quickly. And for the high level players that I've been coaching, they often even forget about the basics or feel like they already understand them. So they rule them out as the result of their inconsistencies to their plays. Don't fall into that trap. Every decision that is complicated stems from these basics, and the higher you go, the better you must be at them. So the sooner we know what we are learning and the sooner we begin learning correctly, the better our entire journey will go. If you want a video that explains more of the basic fundamentals that I think you should start with, then you can look at this video. If you're more advanced and have pretty solid fundamentals, then I think this video will help you, because I coach high elo players who still don't fully grasp the concepts that I talk about here. So if you have an ego where you're in Masters or GM, then honestly, just drop it. Go watch. It will help you. I have a Patreon where you can cheaply get access to all my coaching VODs where I explain in detail all these concepts. On my Discord, you'll find a list of all the heroes and the ranks that I've done them in. There's tons of in-depth coaching content. It's cheap. It's a good alternative. It'll support me. Guys, please like and subscribe. I really, really appreciate it. You guys have been amazing. We've been working our asses off to bring you some good content. Much love, everyone.